this is Robert Syvret of Syvret Music, and I just wanted to show a quick thing that I did that I thought ended up sounding pretty cool for this one licensing song that I wrote. So the song has kind of this indie vibe to it, I guess you would say. You get an indie rock, I guess. And I recorded my vintage classical guitar. It's a tempo acoustic, and I tried getting some like lo-fi-ish sounds, and so the original track, which is right here, for this part sounds like this. And then there's a picking part which sounds like this. And I recorded this with my Blue BlueBird, going through the Universal Audio 4710D preamp with a little bit of saturation on the tube setting, and straight into my Apollo and then into Pro Tools. So as you can see, the levels are kind of differentiating between the picking and the strumming, and there's a clear sense of, wild dynamics. So what I did is I just tried messing around with sending it through the Outboard dynamics that I have, which is the Warm Audio WA76, and then from there I sent it back into my 4710D again, and I added more saturation on the tube end side of it, and then back into my Apollo. And from there I also, on this channel, I sent it through the Oxide Tape plugin on the British EQ setting with the 15 IPS setting as well, and I was peaking at around, I guess, -6, -3, and so it created this really cool sound. And so I'll show like a side by side. So here's the original. And then here's the pre-printed one. So from the waveform, you can see that the dynamics were pretty much evened out, and the crest ratio with the average level was also smoothed out a bit as well, and you can see that's partially due, or mostly due, to the saturation added from the tubes. And so here's the picking part again. I'm just going to switch back and forth. So this is the reprint, and then the original. So it gave it like a pretty cool vibe with the picking, and there's some nice overtones with the saturation and some nice harmonics. And then with the picking part, the strumming part, so it's got, a different sound, and you can definitely hear some of the saturations a little bit stronger. And I was kind of going for that vibe for this song because I wanted more of that lo-fi, kind of semi-distorted tones that you might hear on like 21 Pilots or something like that. But what I did was I had the 8-to-1 ratio with a medium attack and a really fast, well, the fastest release. And then the input is driven pretty hard so that the picking part and the strumming part were somewhat evened out. And then I set the input on, so I went out of my patch bay directly into the first high Z insert on the preamp of the 4710D, and I added the low cut so that the low frequencies weren't distorting as much, because I imagine there was like pretty much a proximity effect from, or the proximity effect was brought out more by the compression, and so I kind of tried to handle that a little bit. And I added a pad because the signal was coming in hot, and I had the output turned down a lot on the actual compressor going into the preamp. And so I have the tube setting at around 3 o'clock, around that area, and that's basically what it was. And then it came out through the optical into the Apollo, and then it went through the Oxide Tape again. I used the British EQ because I like how it brings out some of the high end, and then from there I just tracked it down. And what I might do is actually just blend these two together and then maybe parallel compress them to get more attack and punch, but I think together they might sound, pretty cool. I still like the way it sounds with it by itself. Or I would just do it like that, but I don't know, just something interesting that I was trying to do, and try it out yourself and experiment. It's pretty fun, cool. So thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for another random video. Thanks.